How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto. Today is June 28th, 2019, and it's a pretty interesting day for Bitcoin at 12,320. Bitcoin dominance at 63.3%, and today we will be talking about Holochain. We'll be discussing the future of cryptocurrency, especially in the context of the momentous Bitcoin that we've basically been seeing developing, and a lot of the different talk that we've seen surrounding this, and how right now we're sort of seeing the stage getting set for what I believe to be a pretty interesting altcoin season, which is sort of getting the signal from the Bitcoin sort of leader. I mean, within a month from now, I'm sure that we'll be seeing a lot of different activity as far as the altcoin realm goes, and it's a very interesting time to say the least. So, of course, we need to talk about the whole idea of peer-to-peer and essentially what Holochain needs to do in terms of really moving forward, and essentially how they've already solidified themselves and established themselves in an interesting way in the context of cryptocurrency. And I think right now it's important to start thinking beyond the limitations of blockchain, because for those of us who've basically been in this space for some time now, we've seen the cryptocurrency space really take a interesting turn in the past couple of years, which has certainly had a dramatic influence on the way that people view the actual technologies and how they'll be really working in the real world. And I think that it's pretty substantial to talk about how people are starting to consider the data, and they're wanting more and more control over control over their own data, control over their own identity, and it's pretty simple. It's not too much to ask, and I think that this is going to be a pretty big conversation, a huge talking point, and a definite upside when we want to talk about the future of Holochain, in particular with a lot of the attention that the Facebook cryptocurrency has been getting. And on top of that, the overall conversation that's been happening right now, that's really been brewing, which is probably one of the main advertisements for the cryptocurrency paradigm shift that's happening right now. And I think that the people are pretty educated. I mean, cryptocurrency is one of those spaces that's really aware of how these different things are going to go. I mean, but this tweet right here, I mean, if you really want to get an idea of the difference between agent-centric and data-centric, I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself. And I think that the overall, I mean, it's all about educating the space, and I think that that's the work that we're doing by putting in these videos every single day. I'm so honored to be able to have this content for you guys, just so that we can continue to just bring up the awareness and all these different things of how this is really an important decision that's being made on multiple fronts here. And if we really don't seize this opportunity and recognize it for what it is, then of course we're going to have to pay the consequences. But I don't think that there's too much doubt in people's minds, and I think as we continue to move forward and we see the technologies continue to come into their own, and especially the big advertisement that cryptocurrency has been for itself, I mean, we're really in an interesting time. I mean, this tweet right here is interesting. We predict the coin to grow with a stable rate this month. The value should reach 0.0014. I mean, definitely interesting. And I mean, we were looking at the John McAfee sort of tweets that he was putting out earlier, and basically just analyzing how this altcoin season could be, seeing more gains than anything. And I mean, people feel like they missed the boat when it comes down to looking at Bitcoin and all these different things. But I don't think that people missed the boat. I think that it's all a psychological factor right now. And of course, top performers, we're seeing like Chainlink, and definite trend that's been developing in the cryptocurrency space. And it's very interesting to see how we've got probably one of the most amazing opportunities in the cryptocurrency space right now, because we're still seeing a lot of the different cryptos that were majorly pumped when we were seeing that last bull run, especially the one where we saw Bitcoin reaching its all-time highs. It's sort of an opportunity for the altcoins, I'd say. When we actually, so many of them are still majorly undervalued, and I think that Holochain is certainly in and among them. And it's very interesting to see how a lot of these different psychological variables have been coming in to their own, in particular, especially in this short amount of time with all the different things that we've been seeing happening. And I think that as the space continues to develop, we're certainly going to see a lot more of the controversies that are really kind of just par for the course when it comes to the establishment getting into the space the way that they have been. And this is, including but not limited to what's happening right now with Binance, and of course a lot of these other variables that really don't need to be expanded upon past that point. But I think it's interesting to see just how a lot of these different things, and of course remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. If you guys are interested, you guys can connect with us on our Twitter. That's of course at CryptoTuber on Twitter. Always interested in hearing the feedback. Make sure that you guys comment down below, letting us know what you think on top of everything. But I think that it's also important to say, right now, $100 can go, an amazing distance with a lot of these different things. I mean, we think about something like Holochain and where it stands to go from here. What we have to talk about is essentially, application. We have to talk about use cases, and the fact of the matter is that there's such a broad, sweeping possibility for so many of these different technologies that only put themselves in that position. And I think that that's probably one of the most amazing things to expand upon, especially while we're seeing a lot of this different exposure to cryptocurrency that's been going across the board, and really making a huge impact. And right now, cryptocurrency is going from that situation where it's under a lot of different scrutiny, a lot of people giving it different analysis from various different eyeballs. But when we really want to talk about, JP Morgan's CEO says crypto companies, I think that it's very prominent that a lot of these different institutional spaces notice, and they notice probably more than the average retail investor. The fact of the matter is that cryptocurrency is a major, especially blockchain. Just looking at Bitcoin, over the last 45 days, and we went from 7,000 to 8,000, all the way up now. And it's very interesting to see just how a lot of these different variables have been coming together. And mining, the miners are back, and of course it's very interesting to see. And I think that right now we'll be seeing really a paradigm shift unlike any other that's existed in the cryptocurrency space. And I'm very excited, and I'm honored to be able to make this content. I'm happy for the community that we've been able to build up until this point, and I continue to work tirelessly. I spend hours every single day just reading reading all these just white paper, news and all these things, and all these different aspects of the space that help us all sort of just keep on keeping on when it comes down to the bare bones of it. But now, hope that you guys have enjoyed my little spiel here. This is how I'm feeling. Very optimistic about the cryptocurrency space, and we're going to be doing a live stream later today. And of course, it's very important that you guys continue to just keep educating your friends and family about these things. I know it's a major headache trying to teach people about being smart with your money. It's easier said than done, but just the fact that we've been seeing such a influx of attention into the cryptocurrency space is good, and I think anything in the top 100 is noteworthy, at least worth having a conversation about. And in particular, I think that Holochain is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, just because I've had the opportunity to accumulate such a large bag, and I think that everybody out there is who's been doing the same. Congratulations on everybody who's been in the game for this long. It's amazing how quickly cryptocurrency has been taking this turn, but I'm very excited. I'm happy to have each and every one of you, happy to have all the subscribers. We just recently reached 20 26,000, major milestone. And thanks for all the comments that we've been seeing, you know, the likes and everything. It's great. And I'll see you guys next video. Have a good one.